Hey there, Gemini. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm doing your May 2018 tarot reading. If you want a personal reading or to know what deck I'm using and social media and all that stuff, it's down below. I haven't looked at your cards yet. I just had a couple interruptions before I got going. So on the third try, let's get started. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the Hierophant, and he could be seen as like a traditional teacher, like the Pope, or some sort of spiritual leader, like the Dalai Lama, or whoever resonates with you. Um, and so it's spiritual teaching, wisdom, how you can learn to grow spiritually. Those little nuggets of truth you hear that really resonate and get you thinking. Those types of things. Oh, look. Look, my favorite card, one of my favorite cards in the deck. This might be my favorite deck. I've had it forever, so it is sort of I have a personal attachment to it. But this just reminds me so much of summers growing up here in Vermont and going to swimming holes. And there's like this dog with a stick, and those types of days where it's just you're so present and in the moment, just you're not worrying about getting home or doing anything. You're just enjoying the day, enjoying your friends, enjoying the earth. And so I guess that's, try to find those moments in May and to really be present, spend time with your kids. And even, think about things in the past. If there's something you remember fondly that you used to enjoy doing, like make a point to do it again. Make a point. Well, and I'm not going to be doing that in May in Vermont. It's a little cold, but find ways to enjoy those simple times. And yes, we have to be adults and pay our bills, but do we really have to stress and worry all the time? Finding a way to be still and enjoy the moment wherever you are. At the moment, and not drag that stress and to-do list and all that stuff when you're trying to spend time with your kids or your friends or your significant other, or even yourself. Like give yourself a chance to just be and not be like, I have dishes in the sink, I have this, like while you're doing like trying to relax, just stressing about things. The one thing, yes, this is a very traditional card. The traditional way to read this card is tradition, marriage, doing things the way society tells you it should be done. But I always find I can get sort of wisdom out of situations and people that I wasn't specifically going to looking for, like that type of advice. It can happen standing in the line at the supermarket. It can happen from a song lyric. It can, something just hits you just at the right moment. And this is embarrassing. I shouldn't tell this, but I was listening to the Frozen soundtrack in my car going to work or somewhere. And I was listening to Let It Go, and I literally started crying because I really listened to the lyrics, and for some reason at that time I was like, damn, this is deep. Like, this is so true. So you just never know. It could be something a song you've listened to a million times, but in that moment at that time it just resonates with you and can really sink in and make a change. Let's see you're coming. Okay, so you're coming from April into May, really motivated and really inspired, and like you have a goal in mind. And you can see, and I just love this deck. You see these stormy seas going on behind her, but she is unwavering. She is looking dead ahead. She's like, I've charted my course. I know where I'm going. I know what my end goal is, and I'm not going to let turbulent times or people negative talking or whatever this stormy sea is. I'm not going to let a little bit of adversity or some perceived failures or difficulties to make me stray off my path or give up. The younger fire signs will be all excited about starting something, and then one little thing goes wrong and they're like, oh, well, F it, and they're out. They're like, I'm out. It's too hard. The mature fire signs are able to maintain that motivation. Even when others, it's gotten too hard, or people, they're meeting some resistance. They're like, that's okay. I'm going. Don't worry about it. I'm going to still make it happen. So that's a great energy to come. Whoa. Holy moly. You got the Tower and the Two of Cups. So right off, I'm going to tell you that just the traditional way to read this is a sudden breakup of a relationship. Now, the Two of Cups can be work. You could, and this doesn't have to necessarily happen to you. You could, you could find out, like, maybe like your very good friend who you think has this great marriage. All of a sudden you find one of them's cheated on each other and the whole relationship just blows up and they're getting a divorce. You could find out that someone at work has been embezzling. Someone like a coworker, like you work with really closely every day, and like has been robbing the company, and it's like fired and getting in trouble. So the Tower doesn't have to be directly like you're happening to you. I mean, it could, and the Tower can also often be the straw that breaks the camel's back too. It doesn't have to be. It can be like that one last thing your significant other says to you, and you're just like, I'm done. This is just not healthy. This is just not working. And it doesn't have to be the worst fight you've ever had. It doesn't even have to. It can just be like one little thing that highlights to you that this isn't working. Like that, like it just, for whatever reason, just like I was saying with the Hierophant, sometimes things just click. You don't always get that flash of spiritual insight when you go to listen to Ram Dass. It might happen from that kid and parent talking behind you in the grocery store line, and you just hear something and it clicks. You're like, whoa. So it could be that type of situation. It could be like this could be, the Two of Cups is, the Two of Cups is any sort of partnership. So wherever, that in your life where you have to work with people and someone just blows it up, someone just, something happens where it's like, whoa, something, a significant change has to be made. And, the Tower can be scary. I've gone through a couple restructurings of the office. One I went through at my old job. They came through and fired my manager. They fired like all these people. And, I in retrospect, I do see what they're doing. They had been asking for things to happen, and they weren't happening. And, in business, you kind of have to do what they've hired you and are asking you to do. But for me, it was like I had only been in that job not even a year. I had a little baby. I was going through a divorce, and all of a sudden, like, all hell broke loose at the office. It was just like, what the hell is going on? And I remember going to my old boss, because my last position was still open. And so I went to her and I was crying, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but can I have my old job back? And this was one of those times, times like this when she said, listen, of course you can have your job back. That's a given. It's yours. But I want you to think about something. She's like, it's often in these times, you can either, I think she said, you can either be part of the problem or part of the solution. And it's often in these times of big transitions like this where people can really earn their stripes. And it wasn't that I was resisting what was going on, but I was letting it really upset me and worry me. And it was like a light switch. I was just like, oh. And she's like, I'll give you the weekend. Your job's not going anywhere. I'll give you the weekend. but I really want you to think about that. And I left that office, and I've never been the same as far as work goes again, because I ended up, I ended up getting asked to do a special assignment and all this stuff, and I weathered that. At least, no, I think 3/4 of the office turned over. Um, and I came out in a sort of being singled out for something. So it's not, our strength of character is not how we deal with everything when things are great. And this is something to really look for in a partner. If everyone's great when everything's going their way, right? Of course we are. If it's not, that's a huge red flag. But it's how we deal with stress and difficulty that really shows someone's true character, how we treat other people in times of stress and difficulty. Yeah. All right, what we want most. The Page of Swords. So this is new ways of communication. This can be writing a book, putting yourself out there, doing online dating, putting your resume out, starting a website, starting a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel, well, anything to do with electronics, putting yourself out there, communicating what you want to communicate. And pages are also new beginnings. So it's like you're going to have a change that shifts, just like I was talking to you about how you perceive things and how you present yourself and deal with situations. Like it may be that you are able to help other people manage tower-like situations. And coming up is the Page of Shields. So the seeds that you're planting this month are going to, if you can just stay at it. Remember her? She's got her eye on her destination, and she's not going to let some stormy seas get her off course. This long game, you have to play the long game. This end goal you want is going to happen, but you have to start now. You have to do the research now. You have to take the classes. You have to educate yourself, do your research, save your money, make a business plan. Whatever, you have to be really clear and practical about making this happen. This is also a new job, getting into school, new like-minded people. So here's some overall cards. The Devil. Yeah, it's like you're gonna face these challenges again, and having the discernment to know which are the red flags and which are the ones that you have to push through. But most of all, the devil is about our own self-doubts, our own self-sabotaging behavior. Do we run when the going gets tough? Do we tolerate behavior that shouldn't be tolerated? And being able to tell the difference. But this Eight of Wands, I love this card because this is like everything you have put in motion. Once you get in the right mindset and you're enthusiastically pursuing it, but it's almost more like an internal shift, like that shift that happened to me in that story I told you. I went from fear and bewilderment, and I don't know what the F is happening here. This is like, I'm already stressed. I'm just going to put stress into the situation because I'm stressed. The minute that shifted and I went shifted, and I went, I can do this. I am going to be a leader. I am going to navigate this with ease, and I'm going to make myself available and positive. Everything changed. Everything changed and opened up for me very quickly too, because it was really my own internal blocks that were holding me back. And then once those are gone, I'm free to go forward. This is also love, a new job, new opportunities, and lots of them. Like it snowballs in a good way once you make that change in your mindset. It's just everything moves forward very, very quickly. So, whew, really exciting stuff. Thank you so much, Gemini, and I'll see you at the next reading. Take care.